Without further ado, we would like to present a family reunion to die for. Did you guys hear that? I'm scared.
Well, it isn't much of a family reunion. It's just place has a secret, but we're not telling it, are we, Aunt Gretchen? Not unless you're a good boy, Freddie.
Yes, dear. We'll have to see if he can figure that out on his own. They'll be a little gang now, won't it?
One thing you'll learn about Aunt Gretchen is that she loves to play games.
Oh, yes, we play a variety of games in the evenings here. The guests simply adore it. Oh, and tomorrow we'll have our weekly movie night. Enough chit-chat. The two of you must be exhausted from your trip. Let me show you Till's room, the Hoedown Honeymoon Suite. Oh, right this way.
You packed these.
Who is that? That sweet old lady can't be the same nasty woman who hired me.
Oh, that's her, all right. I've been working at Wilcox's Western Bed and Breakfast for almost 20 years, and she always treats the guests like cream and the staff like mud pies.
Oh, dear.
You'll get used to it.
What on earth is that?
It's not Halloween, so either someone's here to finally save us from the evil Mrs. Wilcox, or someone has escaped the loony bin.
Welcome to Wilcox's Western Bed and Breakfast, the best place for a little taste of the wild, wild west in the tropics. Can I help you?
I have a reservation.
Name?
The Night Crusader.
Oh, dear. I don't see anyone with that name.
You better find Mrs. Wilcox. I have to get back to the kitchen.
Miss Carlson, what are you doing leaving the guest standing in by himself at the check-in desk? I was just going to look for you, ma'am. I can't find this man's name in the registry book.
You're not getting off to a very good start. How hard is it to find someone's name and show him to his room?
Sorry, ma'am. Now, what can I do for you?
Reservation for the Night Crusader.
Let me see. I'm not seeing nothing. When did you make your reservation?
About a month ago.
The only reservations on way for Mr. Camp and a Mr. Steele.
That's me, Steele. A month ago, I was going by the name Warrior of Steel.
I see. How nice. You have multiple personalities.
I always say two is better than one.
Miss Carlson, can you show Mr. Night Crusader to his room? enchantment. I can knit one pose tool faster than anyone in the country.
She's also the president of the Animal Rights Organization. Mammals, amphibians, and reptiles, oh my. With all those interests, I'm sure the three of you can find something to talk about over a glass of iced tea. I doubt it, Miss Wilcox. Well, at least try. And when you want your rifle, just holler and I'll fetch it from the locker cabinet.
Oh, Gretchen, Christine wants to know if you have any extra towels.
Certainly, let me get Miss Carlson to bring you some. Say, who is this cutie?
Oh, hi, my name's Freddie. Freddie Franklin, and you are?
Lola Mack, former Las Vegas showgirl, national knitting champion, originally from New York City. Pleased to meet your acquaintance. And I'm Christine, his wife. Pleased to make your acquaintance as well.
Say, you're a knitting champion? Honey, she's practically a celebrity. Can I get your autograph?
Yes, look. We have to return to our room now, don't we, baby cakes?
Excuse us.
I see him to Jessica, Mr. Franklin,
Thanks, call me Freddie.
if you insist, Franklin.
Brady! I said now! What did I tell you about talking to strangers?
What's that broad's problem? I wonder. You sure have a way of making enemies, man, don't you? I'm not gonna stand here and listen to the two of you berate me. I'm going to my room to knit in peace and quiet. That's one young gal with no class.
This is the last time I'm going to tell you to leave extra towels and get through, Miss Carlson. But Mrs. Wilcox, it's the first time you told me. Don't get fresh with me unless you're looking for a new concern. I hate you. Yes, ma'am.
Miss Wilcox,
I didn't realize you ladies were still out here. Go along, Miss Carlson. Take your time. Now, how are the two of you enjoying the tea?
it's delicious.
Now, about our wrap. Oh, shit. It's as safe as it can be. Plus, you don't want to go hunting now anyway. Looks like that tropical storm's about to hit.
Well, suppose when it's time for supper, then.
Check again.
You must be Mr. Neil Camp.
That'd be me.
And you two are?
They're a small mine troop I manage. We're just passing through the area on our way to the next show. This is Mickey and that's Molly. Molly here was actually the one that suggested a friend stay at this place.
Oh, good. I'm sure Moms will keep the mood here calm and collected. Now, are you sure you want 3 separate guest rooms? I have a family room with 3 beds. That'd be big enough for all of you.
We each in a room, lady. I grabbed these kids from show to show, watch their costumes, and take 50% of the salaries. I don't remember them.
I see.
Besides, I think I'd go crazy if I had room mines. Just like that. I should run off my talent, no?
Yes, your rooms are ready waiting for you. Miss Carlson will show you. Mr. March! I'm glad you're out of your room. Beatrice is going to the afternoon show. I hope you like family biscuits.
Precisely at 3 o'clock. Just like the brochure says.
Yes, we pride ourselves on being on time. I hope you'll mention the promptness of Wilcox's Western bed and breakfast in your hotel review.
But the brochure indicates that the snack is edible.
Talk about an overcooked biscuit. Nearly broke my tooth on that thing.
Oh, what a shame.
I won't make mention of it in my review, though.
Good.
I won't have room to write about the snacks after discussing the small room, the lumpy bed, and the view from my window of the truly
afternoon chuck is out.
I am starving, darling.
Hello, dears. Did you rest well?
Yes, the chance to lie down was just what I needed after that long flight.
These biscuits are delicious, Aunt Gretchen.
Simply heavenly.
Well, thank you. I'll be sure to let Beatrice know you to enjoy them. Christina arrived just a few minutes ago.
I am anxious to see her. I hear she was just married.
Yes, her husband's a cute little fellow. I can see if I can go find them. I'll be right back, Mr. March.
How do you do?
You look familiar.
Well, maybe you've seen us from home.
We are stars of the stage,
We've appeared in over 45 theatrical productions.
and always together.
And not to mention we are husband and wife.
We are co-stars on the stage and in life. Aren't we, darling?
Yes, I remember. Stefan and Suzanne Livingston. I saw you together in The Elms of Passion.
One of my finest roles.
And mine as well.
I should hope not. I believe I refer to your performance as trite and overstated, and yours as self-indulgent.
Wait, did Aunt Gretchen call you Mr. March? As in Joel March?
Yes. The nastiest theater critic on the West Coast.
Correction, the former nastiest theater critic on the West Coast. I am now the nastiest hotel critic on the East Coast.
I remember hearing that you no longer write for Theater Monthly.
I now write for Hotel Weekly.
Aww, what happened? Readers could handle your bitterness, or was it your jealousy?
I take pride in the bitterness, but jealousy of what?
I can only assume that someone who writes with such contempt for actors is jealous of their artistic talents.
Trust me, my little friend, I consider myself lucky never to have mixed up with you and your crowd of overcomplicated, undereducated bohemians. Where did you even learn that nonsense you refer to as art?
We both attended Juilliard for a time.
Oh, Juilliard.
That's right.
Never heard of it.
I am not going to stand here and put up with this.
Oh, remember, darling, save this emotion for the stage. Practice your reading exercises.
Stephen.
Ah, Christine, you look wonderful.
Thank you. This is my husband, Freddie.
A pleasure.
It's so nice to meet you.
This is my wife, Suzanne.
It's wonderful to make your acquaintance, darling.
I've been showing Freddie around the bed and breakfast.
Have you told him about the secret yet?
What is this secret everyone keeps talking about?
I'll give you a little hinty hint, sweetie. It's found right here in this room.
This room?
Do you notice anything that looks out of the ordinary?
No, I'm not the most perceptive person.
I know, Sugar Face, but you tried. Don't forget, you were perceptive enough to notice you wanted to marry me.
Is that little cousin Christine attached to that man's lips?
Rachel! Look at you. It's been years.
Oh, hello, Stephen. Susan?
Looks like the family reunion has officially begun. Suzanne and I will get us all some tea.
Oh, I don't believe you've ever had the chance to meet my husband, Dr. Robert Shanklin.
Nice to meet you. And this is my husband, Freddie.
Wait, let me guess. Polish? No. With those eyes and cheekbones, you must be Russian.
Yeah, Russia would be my first guess as well.
My family is Ukrainian, actually.
What? So close. But they must be from Eastern Ukraine. Am I correct?
How did you know?
Well, Rachel and Robert and
He's just a bitter journalist!
Now, Rachel, your mother was...
Ida, one of Gretchen's sisters.
And mine was Agnes, also one of Gretchen's four sisters.
Four?
Yes, we don't know what happened to the fourth sister, but Aunt Gretchen, Aunt Ida, and Aunt Agnes and my mother were all inseparable when they were alive. The three of us practically grew up together.
That's why these family reunions are so much fun. We get to reminisce. Ever since our mothers passed away, we all sort of took our own separate paths.
Has anyone here seen my needle?
Needle? I've heard of a needle in a haystack. I didn't read this.
Silly, it's not a tiny sewing needle, it's a big needle for knitting. I've seen to put it somewhere, but I can't seem to find it. Well, hello again, cutie.
Hi.
Why don't you try looking for the needle in your room? I'm sure you'll find it there. Thanks for the advice.
Well, Robert and I better be heading back to our rooms to finish unpacking. We'll do some more catching up later.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you.
Suzanne and I should be heading back to our room as well.
We'll see you at supper, darlings.
Well, what?
What do you have to say for yourself?
About what?
Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head whenever Miss Knitting Needles is around.
Oh, babe, you know I only have eyes for you.
If I see you looking at her one more time, I'll scream bloody murder.
I didn't even look at her. She's not even in here.
That wasn't me. It sounded like Aunt Gretchen.
Aunt Gretchen is on the floor in the hallway!
What? Bring her in here.
I don't know.
What?
Does she have a heart attack? God bless.
Oh my God!
I think there might be something wrong with Miss Wilcox. And that knot sticking out of her back might be the problem. Is she unconscious?
No, she's not unconscious. She's dead.
Oh no! What is wrong, Frankie? We heard a scream.
The old lady's dead.
Dead? Oh dear.
No. No. If only I were there in time. If only I were quicker, more efficient. Why must this innocent blood be spilled? Whoever did this, whoever is responsible for this cruel world we live in, will pay.
Being serious? That knot came from the kitchen, so it must have taken it while I wasn't there. Mrs. Wilcox was murdered with her own knife.
Oh.
Dear. This note was found on the floor by Mrs. Wilcox's body. Let me see it. I ripped it.
Well, let's see what it says. There was an old woman named Gretchen. The thought of her kept me a wretched. I took a sharp knife and ended her life. But me you will never be catching.
It sounds like someone had it in for Aunt Gretchen.
The poem is kind of catchy, though.
Well, what are we going to do with
enrolled in the police academy yet.
Just use the skills you've learned in mall security.
I don't even know where to begin.
If you do a good job, I might give you a gold star. And if you do an extra good job, you may even get a lollipop.
Gee, do I get to pick the flavor? Oh, get it?
This guy's gonna figure out who murdered Mrs. Wilcox. He's a 9-year-old trapped inside a 30-year-old body.
At least let him try.
Yes. What do we have to lose? We won't have any contact with the police until the storm is over.
I know he can do it. I know you can, Angel Pie.
All right, Freddie. Start detecting.
This is so exciting. A real murder mystery.
How do you interest? Why don't you try to see?
What did I let us know about?
Well, you're not going to get fired. Your boss is dead. Oh! Let me think. I guess the first thing I should do is try and figure out how long Gretchen was murdered.
I think the knife in her back had something to do with this.
I suppose you're right. I guess it's safe to surmise that Aunt Gretchen has been stabbed to death.
Oh, bro, no! You're doing such a wonderful job so far. I'm so proud.
You're a fool. You've just established the obvious. You know what? I'm going to my room. Let me know when you solve the murder case.
That man seems to be in a permanent bad mood. I wonder if he's awesome.
Dear, you shouldn't be speaking like that, especially with the situation at hand.
I There you go again. You practically had me rolling.
Oh, Connie, do you know what's the key to the cabinet? I think it's right up here. Why? We want our rifle back.
What on earth do you want a gun for?
We're going hunting.
Hunting. In this terrible storm?
Of course. All the rain makes the squirrels run up and hide in the trees. The trees are practically stuffed full of them during storms like this.
Squirrels. On the island, you say. And you're going to go outside in this weather.
Heavens no! You Yankees don't know the first thing about hunting. Did you hear that, sister? I sure did, sister. Honey, we ain't going outside to hunt. We want to run and get all solid.
I'm confused then.
Well, we're going to open our window, fire a rifle into the trees, and watch the squirrels fall to the ground. We'll go outside and scoop up their damn little bodies once the storm stops.
What a delightful thought. I don't think it's a good idea to fire a gun inside the house.
We'll aim the rifle outside, not inside. Don't worry. Hey, the cabin's empty. Where's our rifle? I don't know. It's gone.
Are you sure you saw Miss Wilcox put it in there?
I saw it with my own two eyes, and my eyes too.
Well, somebody must have taken it out.
This is a violation of the Second Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America. Someone has tampered with my right to bear arms. We ain't got a thing here.
What if whoever murdered Miss Wilcox is the same person who took your rifle?
Then we have a murder in fight or a thief or a murderer.
Oh dear, what was Mrs. Needle's gone too? What if the same person took both the needle and the rifle? And the knife that was used to murder Mrs. Wilcox?
Did you say there's a thief in the house?
There sure is, Mom. What do you call that get up anyway?
Get up.
Then they're costumes you're wearing.
I do not wear costumes. This is my Night Crusader uniform. Right now, I am the Night Crusader.
Right now? What do you mean? Are you other people at other times?
Well, yes, I am a whole bunch of different people.
Is one of the people a murderer or a thief?
No, I'm nothing of the sort. A true hero would never murder or steal from anyone. Well, anyone who isn't a villain.
Then why do you wear that there uniform?
I am a devout follower of graphic novels.
I hear words coming out of those lips. I don't understand what they're saying.
Basically, I like to read comic books and I like to live as my favorite characters.
And right now you're living as the Night Crusader?
You hit the nail on the head.
I didn't hit nothing. Don't you dare go accusing me of
Oh,
violence.
you're expressing an expression.
Well, this fella better watch what he expresses because it sure sounds to me like an accusation.
I do believe you were the one who accused me of being a thief, which is impossible. I am the Night Crusader. The Night Crusader does not steal. He fights injustice, successfully hides his secret identity, all while maintaining a steady relationship with the cutest chick in town.
Well, Night Crusader, maybe we can help us find the person who stole our rifle. Bethany just needs finding.
I'll do my best, ladies.
And I should get back to my room and wait for Stephen.
Whatever you say, gal. Come on, Night Crusader. I don't want to wait my face.
Well, they're in a hurry.
They're on a mission to fight injustice.
We're on a mission too.
What type of mission would that be?
A mission to fill our bellies. I got a group of
of you did this? Who shot Rachel?
Well, the gentleman runs and they have the gun, and I saw it.
We do not. I mean, we did, but this, someone stole it from the cabinet.
That's true. It wasn't in there a few minutes ago when we looked.
They hunt animals, so why not hunt people?
Stop trying to shift the blame. You threatened Rachel earlier.
You are accusing me of something I am incapable of doing. I do not believe in hurting any living creature.
We can't just go around accusing each other. Right, Freddie?
Christine is right.
I have an announcement to make. As some of you know, Freddie's going to use his detective skills to figure out who murdered Aunt Gretchen. Now I guess he's going to figure out who murdered Rachel.
I am?
Hold it! I can't believe it. I got back to the freezer for a few minutes and look what happens. Another murder.
Guess I'll have to go clean the freezer.
I would step in before the night is over. Half the guests will be murdered. How was Rachel murdered? Someone came into the room with a gun? The secret! When someone put a hole in my painting! Now, how did we get Freddie here to notice that the gun was fired from this hole? Can't see or hear me.
Guess I could just move the gun.
Rachel!
How could someone do this to Rachel?
Freddie! What are you doing over there? Get over here and start interrogating the suspect.
I am not a suspect.
Neither am I. In fact, I'm a victim. A victim of a second amendment violation.
Wait a minute. There's blood here. It's a trail of blood that leads directly to the body.
Where's Connie? It's her job to clean it up. Oh, you mean the little maid? She hasn't been after the entire time. And where is your husband?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in half an hour.
Oh my. Well, the trail leads directly to the secret.
Yeah, it does. Everyone keeps talking about the secret. What is the secret?
Well, I guess I should tell you now. Behind this wall is a secret passage.
A secret passage.
Yes. It's sort of a fun little doorway that everyone who stays here eventually finds out about. It leads right to the back of the linen closet to the hallway. That was so perceptive of you to find the trail of blood.
Yes, it was. I love a highly perceptive man.
Well, no, not exactly. Connie and I just went there a few minutes ago.
Then where have you been for the past half hour?
Oh, that's easy. He was up in my room hitting on me for a while.
I'm sure had a heck of a time getting him to sleep. Are you serious? You would stoop so low as to put your lips on the hired help and this hit?
Scared you? His lips have been nowhere near mine. I wouldn't give him the time of day.
And what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm sorry. Stephen knocked on my door a little while ago, asking if he could come in. I told him to get lost. I don't fool around with married men.
Ha! He was hitting on you. And you too!
What can I say? I just want a little female attention. I hope I never get that desperate.
Oh, Joe, look. It's our rifle. The murderer must have stolen from the cabinet and brought it down that passage.
Not to get in the middle of this whole love triangle or heptagon, but does anyone else find it suspicious that Stefan and the maid were found in the secret passage with a firearm, one with a trail of blood leading right from it and all?
Trail of blood?
Rachel is dead. She was shot by someone in the passage. Oh, dear, we only went there a few moments ago.
A likely story.
No, it's true. I was just leaving Carla Jill and Rhonda May's room when I saw Connie and asked if I could talk with her.
He told me he needed help to her to see.
In our linen closet!
He told me he wanted to go where no one would bother us.
You mean where no one would find you. Well, guess what? We found you! We found you crazy!
Oh, calm down. That still doesn't explain how the two of you could be in the secret passage without possibly seeing who else was in there.
We were in the hallway when the lights went out. We heard a loud bang, but could see 2 inches in front of our own faces. Someone rushed past us as we were entering the passage, but it was too dark to tell who it was.
You know, I thought I was kind of strange or someone else in the linen closet. You're telling me the two of you heard a gunshot and still felt the need to continue your rendezvous?
Stefan is a dog who won't even stop for murder!
No, I did not know that there was a gunshot. There has been a racket in this place all night. I thought that loud bang was just another crack of thunder.
Well, then who was leaving the secret passage when you entered? Someone isn't telling the truth. That sounds like an easy compliment for an actor or an actress.
Or anyone. Clearly there is someone here pretending to be who he or she is not. Stefan and I aren't the only ones with the acting ability.
Well, we're not doing anything by placing the blame on each other. Most of us entered the room through the hallway after we heard the gunshot. Did anyone see anything? How could we? It was pitch black. Then it could have been anyone.
2 murders and 15 suspects.
Oh dear, I'm scared. I sure don't feel safe anymore.
You're the one holding the gun. You should feel safer than the rest of us.
Mine? Good thinking, Molly. Maybe if we put the rifle in the cabinet, we'll all feel at ease.
Don't be so sure. And Gretchen was murdered with a knife.
I sure was.
And besides, somebody already used the key to open the cabinet and take the gun. Who says it won't happen again?
Well, then I guess we'll have to leave the evidence in the hands of a detective. It's not having hold back.
Any idea what I should do here? Anybody?
You're the one playing detective.
Oh, work in the kitchen. The rest of you go back to your room and lock your door. Me and Christine will stay out here and continue to look for clues. What are we going to do with Rachel's body? We can't just leave her here.
We'll take care of that. Do you guys need help?
No. We told you we're strong.
I guess I better head back to the freezer. If they find me in there, that'd be quite a shock.
She'll be fine. She's dead already.
Where are you going to look for clues?
I don't know.
Oh, I know. Whoever was in the secret passage had to have existed in the first place.
Okay. Who would have known about the passage?
Those of us who work here know about it. And the secret passage is used during evening games of hide and seek. So, any of the guests who have stayed here before would know about it.
Hide and seek? What kind of bed and breakfast is this? Don't most places just settle some board games and call it a day?
Mrs. Wilcox like to take it up.
Oh, how I love those games of hide and seek.
Beatrice, which guests have been here before?
Lola stays here every year. Suzanne and Stephen come down every once in a while. Robert and Rachel have been here over the years. The only people I haven't seen here before are Neil and the Mime, Nice Guy who says the Night Crusader, and the Michael Sisters in you.
So, about half the guests are here for their first time?
I suppose, but I've been working here a long time and I could have easily forgotten the face over the years.
So, in other words, everyone is still a suspect?
I'm afraid so. Well, I have to get back to the kitchen and finish preparing supper. If I don't hurry with this meal, I have some hungry moms ready to murder me.
Hopefully they'll intend to mind murdering you.
Stupid.
Ready? What is it? Potentially dangerous out here. I wanted to inform you that something's been stolen from my room.
Oh, not another theft. First a knife, then a knitting needle, then a rifle. Now what?
My laptop. I went to take it out of the case just now and it's gone. The case is empty. So it wasn't missing till you went back to your room? Well, I don't know. I haven't used it since I arrived.
You know what this means?
What?
They could have been stolen hours ago. Any one of the guests could have it right now.
Oh, thanks for letting us know, Neil. You should go back to your room now. We'll be on the lookout for a missing laptop. Thanks.
The body's in the freezer. Any other heavy lifting you need us to do?
I think that'll be all, Rhonda May. You two should get back to your rooms.
This isn't the calm and quiet bed breakfast I was promised.
Yeah, the murders have put a little stress on us, haven't they? Wait, what in the world?
Did the storm knock the power out again?
Mr. and Mrs. Franklin, are you still out here? Yeah, we're here, Connie.
You just heard a fuse pull up? The breaker's right off the mudroom. Right off the kitchen. She's fixing it right now.
Okay. Better fix it soon. Can't even see.
Oh,
There we go.
oh my God.
I fixed the fuse. Someone must have overloaded one of the circuits. Connie, can you help me set the table for supper?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
Don't quit me! It's Stephen! He's in the bathtub!
What's so hard about that? Don't most people bathe?
Yes, but he's not moving!
Oh, no. What in the world just happened? What kind of establishment has the power going on and off all evening long? This is certainly going to affect my review. Is everything all right?
I think something might be wrong with Stephen. down on the bed. The next thing I knew, I heard a sizzle and a pop. I took the cucumbers off of my eyes, and that's when I saw that the lights were out. As I was making my way to the bathroom, someone showed past me and ran out of the room.
Did you see who it was?
No, darling. It was dark, and everything happened so quickly. I called out to Stephen, but he didn't respond. A moment later, when the lights came on, I saw why.
We found this note on the floor next to the bathtub.
And it's written in the same orange ink.
Has there ever been someone who made you so mad that the thought of him murdered would make you feel glad? I know that you think what I did was quite bad, and maybe it was, but I'm not feeling sad.
Sure is some poet.
Who would do this to Stephen?
Don't look at me. I can't even figure out who murdered Aunt Gretchen and Rachel.
All did.
Rachel, you haven't met our friends, have you? They're helping us figure out our murders. Well, based upon the looks on everyone's faces, it seems there's been another murder. Has there been another murder? Who now?
By wonderful, you mean dry and tasteless. Yes, Beatrice, supper was indeed wonderful.
You're really testing my patience, Mr. Watch. There's only so much I can do before I snap.
Really? What are you going to do then?
You don't want to know.
Well, you may not have enjoyed supper, Joel, but Molly and Mickey sure thought it was delicious.
I've never seen anyone eat so ferociously. It looked like they're wearing half the cake we had for dessert.
Oh, I told you they were hungry.
Night Crusader, it was so thoughtful of you to grace us with a new outfit.
Night Crusader. I am not the Night Crusader anymore.
Looks like some sort of buffalo guy.
I beg your pardon. I am no buffalo. I am Yak Man. 50% man, 50% yak, 100% destroyer of all who dare threaten the Himalayas.
I've never heard of that.
You have, but Yak Man knows you, for Yak Man knows all.
Say, kid, where do you get your costumes made?
They're not costumes, they're uniforms, but I make them myself.
Very nice. You know, Molly and Mickey sure could use some new costumes. Would you be interested in giving mine costume a shot?
I don't see why not. They might look good in some heather gray terry cloth leotards. I have fabric swatches in my bag if you'd like to see.
Sure thing.
Wait, Freddie, is it a good idea to let Neil go into the Night Crusader Yak Man's room?
We're only going to be looking at fabric.
I guess it would be safer if we all returned to our rooms.
Sure, because there's nothing I'd rather do than spend some more time in my cramped little room.
All right. Come on, kids. And don't forget to lock your doors.
I really should clean the kitchen, Mr. Franklin.
Connie, would you be willing to work with Beatrice? I think it would be safer if we have to be out of our rooms if we stay in pairs.
Yes, Mr. Franklin.
Thank you.
Please, Fred, can I talk to you for a minute?
Guess so.
I still have not been able to locate the whereabouts of my missing knitting. Is there anyone here who strikes you as a knitting needle thief?
Lily?
It's Lola, sweetie.
Lola, then how can you be concerned about knitting right now? 3 people have been murdered.
I'm not concerned about the knitting. I'm concerned about the needle. Think about it. The knife was taken from the kitchen and from Miss Wilcox's back. Then the Michael sister gun was taken out of the cabinet and used to murder Rachel. And then right before supper, Neil's missing laptop was found in the bathtub next to Stephen.
What does this have to do with your needle?
Maybe the murderer might use it to kill his or her next victim.
A knitting needle through the throat could certainly cause some damage.
Wait, so you think your missing knitting needle could be a clue?
It could be.
Thanks for letting us know, Lola. Now, could you go back to your room? I'm beginning to get dizzy.
Okay, but be on the lookout for my needle, wouldn't you?
Sure thing.
Why do you have a suitcase full of weapons?
This is a deadly destroyer, and this is a sonic cannon.
Oh.
They're harmless.
How can they be harmless?
They're not real. They're just props to go along with my uniforms. See?
I guess they are harmless.
I told you. Why would I bring real weapons to a relaxing stay to bed and breakfast? I'm no murderer.
Well, how are we supposed to know them weapons are fake? Look pretty real to me. How'd you find these prop weapons anyway?
Well, these two creatures snuck into my room just now. That one sat on me and that one started going through my bag.
And why did you do that? I told everyone to go back to their room. And how did you even get into Yakman's room? I told everyone to lock their doors too.
The door was locked.
What, you think I can't pick a lock?
Yakman's room was the first one we busted into. Sure enough, we found weapons.
Prop weapons.
Fine. But Wing. What? You know Wing this time.
You know, Carla Joe, it's too bad them weapons are fake. These crazy things look like they could blast any squirrel we came across in the fence.
Well, maybe we'll find some next evidence in the room.
Hey, wait. I think you should go back to your room. Your own room.
Oh, no, I don't think the guests would appreciate you looking through their things.
They most certainly would not. Get your hands off my uniforms. They take me a long time to sew.
Say, what's this plastic wrap for?
That's in case one of my uniforms needs an invisibility cloak.
Here.
All right. Now that everything has been settled, what you guys need to realize is that there is a real murderer running around with real weapons. It's dangerous to be running around like this.
Well, go back to your rooms. Lock your doors. Now.
Freddie, I need to talk to you.
We got a problem here, Sherlock.
Not now. Well,
We went to the dining room to try to see if there was any leftover food because Mickey and Molly were hungry.
what were you doing in the dining room in the first place? I told everyone to go back to their rooms.
As I said, they were hungry.
These three were eavesdropping on us.
We were doing nothing of the sort. We merely walked into the dining room and overheard a conversation. A very interesting conversation that I think would be very helpful to your investigation, Freddie.
Oh dear.
Don't believe a word he says.
Beatrice, please. Come on, Neil.
As we entered the dining room, we overheard Connie and Beatrice having a heated conversation in the kitchen. I put my ear up to the door to try to figure out what was going on. That's when I heard Connie tell Beatrice that Miss Wilcox was the nastiest woman she had ever worked for.
Well, it's true. It was my first day on the job, and you should have seen how that woman treated me.
I only met the woman for a few moments, but Miss Wilcox seemed like the sweetest old lady I had ever met.
You were never under her thumb.
As we entered the kitchen, Beatrice said, and I quote, "The old windbag got her just desserts."
Oh dear.
It's true. I said it.
You see, it's clear that one of these two killed Miss Wilcox, and probably the others. In fact, Beatrice and Connie may be in on this together.
I am not a murderer.
And neither am I. I was just venting my frustrations about my employer. I like to see what your little names have to say about you whenever you're not around.
How do we know Beatrice and Connie are telling the truth?
I've been working at Wilcox's Western Bed and Breakfast for almost 20 years. Do you think I would have waited that long to murder Mrs. Wilcox?
She has a point.
Maybe tonight you snapped. You did tell Joel that there's only so much you can take.
How much food can mine eat anyway? You two have been in and out of the kitchen all night. Aren't the three of you staying in 3 separate rooms? If Molly and Mickey were so hungry, why did you tag along?
Molly and Mickey don't speak. They need me to help translate their actions into words.
A likely story.
That's enough. We've had nothing but accusation all night. Neil, to your room and stay put this time.
We'll finish up in the kitchen. Hopefully, no one else decides to spy on us.
Come on, kids.
Come on, Connie. Stupid!
Let's go past the last interruption.
Yeah.
Franny,
What now?
this is urgent. I was sitting in my room trying to get some writing done in peace and quiet. I had to move from the lumpy chair by the bed to the even lumpier chair by the window. It looked softer than the one by the bed, but looks can be deceiving, let me tell you. I will have to include that in my review.
Joel, you said this was urgent?
Yes, anyway, when I moved to the chair by the window, I noticed I could faintly hear voices in Robert's room. His room is right next to mine, you see, and I can hear the voices through the heating vent by the window.
Were they talking about the murderer?
I'm not sure. I couldn't make out words, only voices.
What's so urgent about that?
Notice I said voices, plural. Robert had someone in his room with him.
Who was it?
I don't know, it sounded like a woman, but we know it can't be his wife.
Why not?
She's in the freezer.
Do you remember that little incident with the rifle pumpkin?
Oh, right. An interesting observation, Joel. What should I do?
Go and see who Robert has in his room with him, Cupcake.
Good idea.
I don't like this situation. Not one bit.
I'm sure there's a logical explanation for why Robert has someone in his room with him.
There's been nothing logical going on in this place all evening.
Look who I found in Robert's room.
Oh, Suzanne?
You wanted to see us, darlings?
What are you doing in Robert's room?
Well,
No, don't say a word. It is none of your business what I'm doing in my room.
You were told to stay in your own rooms. Why didn't you listen to orders?
Do you realize how suspicious this looks?
what's suspicious about this? Robert and I were only having a little discussion, darling.
You don't think there's anything suspicious about two people whose spouses have just been murdered getting together for a secret conversation?
No?
I'll bet a murderous plan was in the works.
That sounds like an accusation.
It is an accusation.
How dare you accuse me of murder?
You wouldn't be accused of anything if you had just listened.
Doesn't anyone follow directions anymore?
Lola, what are you doing with that 2x4?
I'm so sorry to startle you. I'm here on business.
Business?
Yeah. I was sitting in my room on the account of nothing to do, and it struck me like lightning. Freddie, I should help you catch the assistant. I'll be your...
Do you mean the murderer? Illiterate.
I'll be your assistant.
But Freddie already has an assistant.
Who?
Me!
Oh.
The girl is carrying a giant boar.
It's for protection, of course. You don't think I'm gonna let some murder me come and murder me with my own knitting needle, do ya?
It wouldn't bother me.
You're too funny, darling.
No, I'd whack that murderer right in his head before he even got close.
That's enough. We can't have everyone running in and out of this place. With weapons, no less. Someone is going to get hurt.
Or murdered.
Suzanne and Joel, you gather the other guests and let them know we're going to have a bed and breakfast meeting. In and out of this place.
Hold it!
Stephen, you haven't met our friends, have you? They're helping us help Freddie.
Hello, everyone.
We need to figure out who the murderer is before anyone else is well murdered. It's crowded enough in that freezer with the three of us. I can't imagine trying to squeeze another body in there. Well, what were they just talking about?
have your reasons, but what you're beginning to realize is that there's a real murderer running around here. Someone is going to get hurt.
And the murderer is someone in this room.
I think it would be a good idea if we just air out all of our suspicions. Maybe it'll help Freddy catch the murderer.
Can I start? You may have the floor, Joel.
As I already told Freddie and Christine, a few minutes ago, I overheard Robert and Suzanne having a discussion in his room.
There is nothing suspicious about the two of us having a discussion.
That sounds mighty suspicious to me. Did anyone ever think that you two were in on the murders together? Isn't it funny that shortly after your husband was found filling with another woman, he winds up dead?
If you really want to know the truth, Stefan and I weren't even a couple anymore.
Wait, is she telling the truth?
I am afraid so.
Don't look so shocked, everyone. Stefan and I were together for business purposes only. We act together as a pair. We need each other for our careers to survive. I wasn't angry when I found him with Connie. He was only my husband. Did you really think I was in love with him?
You sure seem mighty angry to me.
It's called acting. I found Stefan with plenty of women over the years, and he's found me with plenty of men. Our marriage was purely for show. Sure, it started with love and affection, but the love was gone a long time ago. Since we had already established ourselves as husband and wife acting duo, after the marriage crumbled, we remained together. You can't very well keep the slogan, partners on stage and in life, if the audiences don't believe you're a couple.
So are you with Robert now?
No, you forget we're at a family reunion. Suzanne is my cousin. Well, my wife's cousin's wife. So I guess that makes us cousin-in-laws.
I was in Robert's room consoling him. His wife has just been murdered. After all,
Sounds suspicious at 2-ton pile of trash, baby.
Maybe it does, but it's the truth.
If two of you were having an affair, you'd both be free of plenty of burdens with your spouses out of the way.
we are not having an affair. And even if we were, why would we want Aunt Gretchen dead?
If anyone wanted Miss Wilcox dead, it was those two. We overheard them talking in the kitchen. They said the old lady deserved to get murdered.
Really now? Even if I said she got what she deserved, I don't understand. I was the one that gave it to her.
That's right.
It's perfectly possible to dislike a woman without murdering her.
That's right.
I've maybe seen her morning coffee a couple times, but that's it.
That's
You! I knew you were up to something, Miss Googleheimer!
Maybe, after years and years of considering murder, Beatrice decided that it was finally time to be rid of Mrs. Wilcox once and for all.
Why wouldn't I have just found another piece of work if I just liked her that much?
And why would a murder Dr. Franklin and Mr. Livingston?
Joel had a problem with Stefan. His reviews of Stefan and Peter Monthly were downright horrible.
They certainly were.
Wouldn't that make Stefan want to murder me as opposed to making me want to murder him?
He's not wrong.
Not necessarily. Why don't you tell everyone why you're no longer a theater critic, Joel?
I wanted a career change. I thought critiquing hotels sounded more appealing.
Are you forgetting that we also work in the entertainment industry, Joel? We hear the gossip. The real reason you don't work with Theater Monthly anymore is because you were fired. Kicked out of behind the curtain. See you later. Too many of the shows you were ripping apart your college went on to become great hits.
Yeah, Elves of Passion was great.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Maybe you wanted revenge on successful actors like Stefan for your failure.
Then why would I murder Suzanne as well? And why would I murder Gretchen and Rachel? If you ask me, it's the three of you who look suspicious here. They've been running around this place all evening.
That's right. It would make perfect sense if one of you was a murderer. You've been in and out of the kitchen all night with access to all of the knives. And who else knows where else you've been lurking? Perhaps by the cabinet to steal the gun? You were spying on me and Connie in the kitchen, so why not spy on other guys waiting for the perfect opportunity to commit murder?
And what was our motive?
Give me time, I'll come up with something.
If you think sneaking around is suspicious, you should talk talk to these two. They came barging to my room earlier and attacked me. Then they started going through my bag. They could have easily been going through other people's rooms. Sounds like an easy way to come across some murder weapons to me.
We weren't snooping to steal, we were snooping to protect.
So you claim.
Why would we want to commit murder?
That's easy. One of you want to revenge on Mrs. Wilcox for locking up your gun.
Oh, do you really think we would stoop so low as to murder someone over that?
Yeah. You're pretty upset that your right to bear arms is violated. But you're pretty upset about something too, Lola.
Oh, that's right. Rachel was wearing this handle skin, and that makes you angrier than a fool.
You are accusing me of something I am incapable of doing. I do not believe in hurting any living creature, even those who wear animal skins.
We're all pointing fingers here, but have none of you noticed that Yakman over here has been looking very suspicious?
How do I look suspicious?
Read all those comic books filled with violence. You must know an awful lot about how to murder someone.
Only if the murder is from techno laser beams or supersonic force. I don't know anything about knives or guns or electricity.
You wear various costumes.
Uniforms!
You become different comic book characters at different times. Is one of those characters a murderer?
No, never!
Maybe you want it to be the ultimate villain. A murderer could very easily be hiding underneath all those uniforms. We don't even remember your own name.
Well, I don't remember my name either, that's the thing! I've been living as different comic book characters for so long, I don't even know what my real name is. I think it used to be Jacobs, something Jacobs.
You cannot honestly expect us to believe you don't remember your own name.
Well, if you're going to point a finger at me just because no one else is, then why not point the finger at the two people who haven't been accused yet? Freddie and Christine!
Us?
Yeah, how come you get to run around the place running the show while the rest of us sit around here accusing one another?
Good point.
It couldn't be us. Why would it be us? It does seem awfully suspicious that the two of you keep insisting we stay in our rooms, all while having free reign over the rest of the bed and breakfast.
But I would never.
And Fuzzy wasn't Freddy's too sweet to hurt a fly.
No. This is ridiculous. Me and Christine were both in this very room when Aunt Gretchen, Rachel, and Stephen were murdered.
That's true. They were both in here when Aunt Gretchen was found in the hallway. It couldn't have been them who murdered her.
And they were out here when Robert was murdered, so it couldn't have been them that brushed past Stephanie and Connie until the linen closet.
Freddie and Christine were both in here in the fuse box. They couldn't have murdered Stephen either.
It couldn't have been us. But it could have been any of you. Some of you have the motive to murder. And some of you have the opportunity. Freddie, what you need to figure out who had both the motive and the opportunity.
Yes, but I don't know how to do that.
Hold it! This guy needs our help. What should we do?
Well, in all the murder mysteries I've been in, there is always a scene where the detective questions the suspects.
But this bonehead doesn't have a clue who's doing. We'll never know what questions to ask. Maybe we can help us figure it out. Good idea. Sounds like a game, and you know how I like games. I know. Sounds like a...
I have an idea. We should come up with questions that we think Stephen should ask the suspects. Guys, I can jot down the questions. I'm used to writing quickly from taking research notes in the field.
What do you want me to do?
Stephen, wait. Stand there and look at me like you always do. All hands, please, folks. Now, do any of you, by a show of hands, have a question that you think Freddie should ask about the suspects to the suspects? You in the green hoodie. Why are the mine always so hungry? Why are the mine always so hungry? Not case I said something about the suspect. You, there.
What color is
Resume!
What's this?
Why, it looks like interrogation questions. Oh, did you come up with these all by yourself?
Well,
You said you didn't know what to do, but you know exactly what to do, my little Sherlock Holmes.
Alright, hey. Seems that the first question is for the minds. Why are you guys always so hungry?
They're always hungry because we're poor. You have the theater and the opera, and, nobody really wants to see a triple mind.
They're pretty. Anyway, the next question is for Joel. What color is your pen?
Trigger!
Black.
Shut your soul.
Whatever. Why was Beatrice the last to enter the room after Gretchen's murder?
Were you in the bathroom?
I worked my butt off to make sure all of you get fed. And this is how I get treated? Imagine. I work here 9 to 5 every day. I don't even have a room. I have to go to this nasty store and live there.
I thought I noticed your tent in the back.
Might have blown over back.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that's all the questions I have.
Well, do you know who the murderer is?
No, nowhere near close to figuring out who it is.
There's a surprise.
Hey! Don't you know anything? Think you know a guy.
Something spooky's going on here. You sure about this?
Do you have a better idea?
Oh, I just don't want anything to happen to you.
I'll be fine. Think about it. If I'm being targeted for murder, the best thing to do is leave me here as bait.
But that's the thing. You're gonna be alone. No one will be here to protect you.
I can protect myself. When you get into the room, make sure everybody knows that you're going to bed and I'm in here all by myself.
Alright. Good night, honey. I'll be asleep in our room if you need me.
Sweet dreams, sugar bear. Now I just need to wait.
Hello, Chris.
Joel, what are you doing out of your room?
I just wanted to stretch my legs a little, that's all.
Well, Freddy's going to be awfully upset if he catches you out here.
I'll take my chances.
Joel, is that a knife on your belt?
Of course not.
Ooh, for a second.
It's a hatchet.
You have a hatchet!
Why do you think?
Oh, please! Joel, don't hurt me! Stop
dressed up as now, Mr. Jacob?
Well, clearly I'm Princess Gracie Gumdrop. Come on, Princess and Anne's been thrown in the land of Sugartown.
Not even a comic book is about superheroes.
Speech. Steve, is everything all right out there? Oh, you all better get back to your room. Frank's gonna be really upset if he catches you out here.
Hi, Beatrice. What are you two doing out here?
This came to see if Christine wanted a piece of cake.
That cake has seen better days.
We'll just sit here in case you guys get hungry. Honey, let's go to this viewing session.
You alright? I thought for sure with all of that noise I've heard, I could come out here and find you wrestling around with a murderer.
I'm fine. Connie just had a little accident with a piece of cake, that's all. Well, I guess we're no closer to catching a murderer than we were at the start.
I think we should take our own advice and call it a day. And then in the morning, maybe we'll resume.
Yeah. We amateurs will never figure out who was murdering the family and writing those creepy poems.
The poems. That's it. That's it. I know who the murderer is.
You do?
Yes, I can't believe I didn't realize it sooner.
Well, who is it?
I'll tell you in a minute. For now, let's gather the other guests. We won't tell them I figured out who it is. We'll just tell them that I want to ask a few more questions.
Okay.
Do you think Freddie really knows who murdered us?
It sure sounds like he does. This is most exciting. I'll say.
Good thing our parts is not for both Wick and I. Where's the best seat in the house? I want to be able to see all the action.
Let's say they're good friends. Looks like they can ask you. That stuff is so good.
Popcorn. Well, of course it's good. Hi. So who do you think the murderer is? You think it's that one? That's a good guess. I think I saw you get a bit of that.
Who do you think the murderer is, sir? Close.
Who do you think the murderer is, ma'am? You don't know. Just take a guess. Not sure? Who do you think the murderer is? The critic. The critic? Joel? Great guess.
Who do you think the murderer is, ma'am?
I'm gonna go with...
Nick.
Well, until you shut your gappers, sit down. I'm here to support this. There's more trying to
Okay, Gretchen!
He's awfully late, Mr. Franklin. I need my beauty sleep.
You certainly do.
You better shut your trap right now. One more nasty remark out of your mouth about my sister, it'll be the last nasty remark you ever make. What are you going to do? Murder him?
Not everyone. I've had nothing but accusations all night.
I don't see what good any more questioning will do.
That's why instead of asking questions, I've decided we should try out role play.
What's role playing?
It's like acting.
Now there. I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Endure.
You know, I'm just going to act like I didn't hear that.
You don't know.
How can I help?
compensation enough knowing that you could help catch a murderer and could potentially save your life? Sure, they're all yours. For this first role play, I'd like Molly to play as the murderer, and I'd like Mickey to play as Aunt Gretchen in the hallway. Just walk unsuspectingly.
Our performance.
Even I must admit, I was pleasantly surprised.
The subtle nuances were magnificent.
Alright. For the second role play, I'd like Mickey to play as the murderer, and I'd like Molly to play as Rachel in the hallway. Oh wait, the
Wow, that was even better.
Wonderful performance, but I just don't see how this is going to help.
maybe the next role play will spark something new. Molly, I'd like you to go back to playing as the murderer, and Mickey, I'd like you to play Stephen in the bathtub. I'd like Molly to continue playing as the murderer, and I'd like Mickey to play as Christine.
Sweet pie.
Oh, very interesting. Is that how you plan on murdering Christine? Don't play innocent. It was you who murdered Aunt Gretchen, Rachel, and Stephen.
You have no proof.
Hey, we're supposed to be seen and not heard. It's in your contract.
Save it of being accused of murder here.
I can't believe I didn't realize it sooner. I mean, you look innocent enough, and you certainly never made any verbal threats.
Then how do you know it was Molly who was the murderer?
The poems.
Don't tell me you're some kind of handwriting analyst.
No, but I'm not colorblind. The poems are written in a very distinct orange ink. The same ink that's on Molly's glove.
You're not as dumb as you look, Freddie.
Thank you.
Knowing is one tiny problem. You're gonna have to die.
All of you. What did we do? You know too much. Do you really think I can let any of you live knowing I'm the one responsible for 3 deaths? If you kill all of us, you'll be responsible for even more deaths.
And who's gonna tell on
still beat you with it.
How do you expect to do that?
Like this.
Can't believe my life has just been saved by Princess Gracie Gumdrop.
Well, what are we gonna do with Molly?
Tie her up and shove her in the kitchen. We'll put one of those Michael sisters at each entrance to make sure she doesn't escape.
Good plan. Let's get to it, sister.
We have broken the mud room.
Good. Well, you need to tie this scandal up. We can't thank you enough, Mr. Franklin, for saving our lives. You're a Yankee, but you're a good Yankee. Now, just back all the exotic squirrel furs we find on this here island will be yours. We'll be giving up a fortune, but it'll be worth it. Let me go! Let me go! Just let me go!
And stay out!
Well, the storm seems to be subsiding.
I mean, it should be over soon.
Well, that's been settled. Shall we return to our conversation, darling?
Sure. This time let's hope nobody's listening in on us.
Are there any more desserts? I've got my European house.
Right this way. Follow me. Stupid.
Can I get anyone else anything?
I think we'll be fine, dear.
Good. In that case, I quit! This time this man is too serious. I'm taking my things and leaving on the next ferry. I'm going back to working in neuroscience! Neuroscience?
We're so confused.
You know, of all the lousy hotels, inns, and bed and breakfasts I've been to, this one has certainly provided the most interesting experience. Now that is something to mention in a review.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
I'd like to thank you, Princess Gracie Gumdrop. You saved us all.
No, Brady. Thank you. You are the one who restored order to our friendship. I am here merely as a guardian, a shepherd watching over the flock of innocents, crushing the darkness that dares to cross the path of virtue. You are the one who gives us hope, who gives us faith, who reminds us that while everyone loves to eat sweets, cavities can always be prevented with responsible brushing and flossing.
You know, Mr. Jacobs, I've always found a man in a uniform to be quite attractive.
Really? Well, I've always found knitting to be quite a fascinating hobby.
Maybe I can show you a few stitches.
Only if I can show you a few uniforms.
Sounds like a perfect match.
But first, I would like to thank you, Freddie, for all that you have done. Maybe a little huggies. Go on.
Ow! Something poked me!
Oh, why,
Oh, it wasn't lost after all.
You're lucky it wasn't you.
This has certainly been an interesting start to our honeymoon.
Yes. Look at the wonderful family you married into. Well, what's left of it. Well, thanks folks for all your help. Freddie couldn't have solved his first murder case without you.
And we just wanted to say,
Freddie! Christine! The place isn't free anymore! What? What? I guess we better head back to the kitchen. Good idea. Go! Go! Good night, everyone!
Oh my